Throughout the world, violence against children is prevalent in almost all societies, which includes Ghana. Here in the Bono East region, scenes of children being used for child labor is common on the Volta Lake. Today, we're heading towards Ketekrache, a community in the Oti region where some 16 children, through the partnership of an NGO and the Ghana Police Service, have been rescued from child trafficking.
After nearly an hour journey on the lake in this boat, we finally arrived at our destination where these rescued children are kept. We tried engaging some of them who are currently under the care of Village of Life Academy, some as young as 7 years old. 14-year-old Agike Rose was only 4 when her mother sent her out to work with one Sister Felicia who is into fish smoking.
I
was very young when I came here. My mom asked me to come and work here. I stayed with Sister Felicia. These children, as young as 9, spend hours on the Volta Lake, sometimes late into the nights. Pakwesi tells me he's currently tired and do not want to go back to the lake. I'm tired. I go to the lake as early as 1 or 2 a.m. to set up the nets. We go back there early in the morning and sometimes return at about 6 p.m. and go back again to set up the nets. Unlike Rose and Pakwesi, John Ansa, who has been on the lake for the past 9 years, said his stepdad picked him up with a promise of taking care of him and keeping him in school.
My
uncle picked me up because they say we were too many in the family. He promised to send me to school when we get to the village, but when we got here, he never did. I joined him in his fishing trade.
We'll be engaging a rep from the non-governmental organization on what led to this particular rescue mission and how serious is child trafficking on the Volta Lake in this part of the country.
Bismarck Kote is a senior country programs manager at the West African Regional Office for Free the Slaves, an NGO working towards reducing the prevalence of human trafficking in Ghana. He says the issue of child trafficking in the eastern part of the Bono East region is an old age problem which has been fueled by the fishing activities in the area.
Child trafficking in this area has been an old age issue, and I'll say the prevalence of child trafficking is very high in this area. This area is considered a receiving community because of the fishing activities on the ground. And they use these children because the children are cheaper. Okay, they can easily pay or not pay for the children. They can easily control the children. They can easily decide to say, do this, and the children will do. But I think the situation is high here because of the Volta Lake.
What are some of the contributing factors to the increasing number of child trafficking cases in the region? Bismarck Kote tells me that lack of punitive actions to people who are engaging into this is largely contributing to the increasing number of child trafficking cases in this part of the country.
And one of the things I have also seen why the issue is still high here, although many international and national organizations have worked here, but the issue is not going down, is that we lack prosecution. Okay, we lack prosecution, so there's no deterrent. We do rescues, yes, focus is on the children, everybody forget about the perpetrator, so he then go and recruit another set of children, but if he's put in jail, he doesn't have the opportunity.
In the midst of all this, Bismarck believes that a couple of factors are contributing to the failure in the fight against child trafficking in the area.
So one is corruption, 2 is interference, and I call it unnecessary interference. We have pastors, we have imams who are interfering. We have chiefs who say, look, you can't trial this case. You have to stop it. Some of them even admit that, we know he's faulty, but please, let it go. We'll settle it in the house. Okay. Then 4 is also the commitment of state agency to deal with the issue.
For security authorities in the Bono East region, their biggest concern in the fight against child trafficking is the lack of foster homes to provide shelter for these rescued children. Chief Superintendent Alhaji Hussein Aminaba is the regional crime officer.
If you rescue a victim and the victim now becomes a burden of you, the police officer, it is not encouraging enough. It is not rewarding enough for you to say, I've rescued somebody, and where to keep the victims becomes a problem. So, my number one request, and let me end it there, is shelter, getting shelter for the children. If we get shelter in all the regions, it will help us a lot.
As the world marks the World Day Against Child Labor, Chief Superintendent Alhaji Hussein indicated that more education needs to be carried out in order to sensitize parents on the dangers associated with child trafficking.
There's also need to be a lot of education, because sometimes people think that, it's my child, so if I ask the child to go and work, what have I done? So they need that. Whilst providing shelter for those who are rescued, the public also need to be educated.
So as we head back to the Bono East region this evening, scores of these children are still on the Volta Lake and need to be rescued, and state institutions needs to up their game in this particular attempt to rescue these children, to save 100 others who are still being used by adults in child labor. From the Volta Lake here in the Sydney East district of the Bono East region, my name is Anas Sabit, reporting for Joy News.